Hey everybody, this is not a spring chicken. The big news is today is, yes, there is another heir to the throne in England. Yes, Kate Middleton and Prince William had a baby boy. And in other news, John McCain, well, you might as well consider him a Democrat. He's been acting like it, and wait, is he officially a member of the Democratic Party? Well, he might as well be. Well, for now, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today. And it's all over for the Republicans.
Well, according to John McCain, it said Republicans, every time the President of the United States comes up with an idea to help the country, the Republicans simply try to stop it. And he said they had their opportunity to stop it by electing a president, and they didn't do it, and they wouldn't support the nominees. They could have won at Congress, but they didn't support the nominees. So it's time that they grow up and start supporting the president. Which means John McCain is totally went to, he knows he's not going to get renominated by the Republicans. So you're assuming that right before his next election, which is coming up in 2014, he's going to switch parties and try to run as a Democrat. It's a Republican state. They won't elect him as a Democrat. He was a Democrat. He switched parties to win election to begin with.
Well, no wonder why he's just returning to his roots.
Yeah, remember Ronald Reagan was a Democrat too. A lot of Republicans were Democrats first, but couldn't get along with them, so they switched to Republicans. McCain could not get elected in his state, so he became a Republican. Now he thinks that he is so popular that in a state that doesn't want his immigration plan, that doesn't want Obamacare.
I know, especially since he's on a border state.
I know, and that he can basically swerve them, but it's not going to happen.
The Queen is to announce. The Queen is to name the new royal baby.
I know, which basically they said it. Actually, according to tradition, she has the rights to the naming of the first child. Ah. That is tradition. That's why they got a big thing outside. They're figuring out what name the Queen wants the baby to be. Oh. And they're assuming that it will be after her uncle Mountbatten.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's a family favorite, and he was a favorite of...
It's Monty's namesake.
That's right. Monty is Lady Mountbatten.
And Obama's latest economic push has familiar feel.
Well, it's exactly the same things. But we're going to stimulate the economy. We're going to do more spending. We're going to provide lower interest rates for people to buy homes. We're going to be able to do refinancing of homes. We're going to start, we're going to simply pump as much money into the economy as needed to make it grow. It's the same thing. They said this is the 12th time he has read the same speech almost word for word. He said he actually doesn't need a teleprompter, but they're afraid that if he doesn't have a teleprompter, he'll change something on it.
Oh, well.
Okay, this is the plan that the Democrats won't even support, because they know there is no desire in this country for to spend, government jobs programs, government, more educational programs, more green stuff. There's no demand for it. It's not going to happen.
And Cantor unsure budget will ever go to conference.
Well, they don't think so, because Republicans have figured out they can kill, which is really brilliant, they can defund Obamacare and kill it. Oh, it's taken them 4 years to figure out if they don't give it the funds, it doesn't work. And the House controls funding, and they can simply deny the funding. Well, the Senate basically is trying to basically make it a one-house thing, and if they change the structure, which they know the court will basically eventually overthrow, that at least for 2 to 4 years they can totally have one-party rule and do anything they want in this country, which means there'll be higher taxes. The health care system, which they know that people will love. Well, this morning, Obama, he's got, I love it, they said he picked out a dozen people that are to the left of him to come do advertisements on why Obamacare is good for young. They said, I heard one guy said, John Bon Jovi's talking, he's talking to kids, hey kids, I got something that you're going to really love. He said, it's only going to cost you 3 times more than you're currently paying, but you're going to do it because you want to help the people that aren't being helped. And remember, even if you weren't paying before, it's only going to cost you 5 times more than what you're not paying. But you're doing it for our country. Support our country by paying what you weren't paying before. They said, and then they got the guy, this guy's a moron. That's from one of his fans with a John Bon Jovi. This guy's a moron. So.
Oh, is that on there?
That's what they've already done.
Oh my God!
Like all of these people on the left explaining how this is going to be good that you pay for something you're never going to use, because you're helping people that don't have it. The guy, okay, another one said, he said, if I don't take it and I just simply give somebody X amount of money so they can go buy their own insurance, I save 2 times the amount of money that they want me to spend. I can just go pay for insurance for somebody else. Isn't that brilliant? So.
And Dropbox expensing signature to games, email apps, and other programs.
I know. I think Dropbox is part of. I think Dropbox is now part of Yahoo. I'm not certain about it because they keep telling us that we can do Dropbox with Yahoo now.
And Dallas suburb cannot bar housing to illegal immigrants, court rules.
Well, the court basically is totally wrong because they can deny it to illegal immigrants because I don't have it here. You know, say this is, for instance, this is my my power bill, my utilities bill. I can't have utilities on unless I can prove that I'm, you know, that I can bring identification up. They don't have identification. If you don't have a utilities bill, they don't have to rent to you in any facilities in this country. That's the law, folks. You can't rent without prior proof of something. I mean, if you're young and first starting out, but you have identification, they'll rent it to you. But if you don't have identification, you have to have proof of being able to provide utilities, and you can't get it unless you have identification to get the utilities.
And follow your labels. American apple juice is a product of China.
Well, they're trying to show, we get so many things from China to begin with, so turning over the pork industry to the Chinese isn't going to be, well, yeah, when you have like 1,000 dead pigs floating down the Yangtze River, and then they harvest them and they just go get them, and it's called, we can't, our country does not allow adulterated meat. In Asia, they think it's a delicacy.
Adulterated meat?
Yeah, meat, basically it's meat that's basically, okay, we do not serve something that has been killed and harvested. You basically kill it fresh and then use it. In China, they will kill something and let it hang around for a day, a week, a month or so. Yeah. So they're basically not, it's how you handle fowl to begin with, because you don't cook fowl to begin with, you let it hang and basically it's sort of soft.
Oh, it's kind of like the foul approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Comey defends surveillance programs, but says he's open to more transparency.
Yeah, okay, there is no. No, I always like this word transparency. That means you're never gonna see the light of day. So.
I know. Soldiers and lawyers ask judge to acquit on aid to enemy.
Well, okay. They're not going to. First of all, they're in the middle of a war, and the guy, a soldier, is basically giving information on people to the enemy. Okay, the only thing that he's going to get off on is they're not going to execute him. But this guy, the military kind of corporal, is basically, here's the thing, you can be a civilian and be a whistleblower. A man in the military can never be a whistleblower because it's just automatic jail time. It's just, I remember years ago, a couple of people basically, Louis Jourdain and Sterling Hayden, both of them were World War II veterans. Their sons, instead of being mad about the fact they didn't want to serve, both fled to Canada. Both fathers, at different times, went and grabbed their sons out of Canada and brought them back to the United States and told them, if you think it's important enough to protest, then you do it as a man. You don't go run and hide. So they brought their sons back. They supported them. They paid for the defense and all of that. But they still said, you know, if you think you shouldn't serve, then don't serve. Don't go run and hide. That's not the way. Well, of course, both of them were heroes in World War II, too. One was a resistance fighter for France, and the other was decorated many times as a naval officer.
And Japan consumer sentiment declines for the first time in 6 months.
Well, because what's happening is the new prime minister, once again, is going to raise, he's going to spend money. The Japanese have this aversion to spending money they don't have. So the prime minister is preparing to spend tons of money that they don't have again.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Vermont and 8 states allow hemp growth and federal law conflicts.
Yeah, because they're all states ran by Democrats. That's how you can tell. If it's a state ran by a Democrat, okay. But here's the thing. I was listening to the thing about the growth in our country. They said if you didn't have states ran by Democrats, we'd have a prosperous economy. The problem is the economy dies in every state ran by a member of the Democratic Party. But if you've got a Democratic governor, a House and a Senate, all of those states have negative readings, and it drags the economy down because they all tax more than they spend more than they're getting, and they overtax and they chase businesses away.
And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain in the Animal Kingdom.
Oh, I like this one. They said that if no one listened to you when you were young, and no one listens to you when you get older, what's the difference?